Welcome back to the Symba Luna Show Character Reads. If you're new here, my name is Symba, they, them pronouns, and let's get into it. So we are continuing our international tour, moving from South Africa into South Korea. Today's show is called King of the Land. Now, this is what they call K-drama, and you can watch this show on Netflix. So I had a friend that put me onto this show, and at first I didn't really understand it, but when I sat down to watch it myself, it had me in the utmost of a chokehold. So I'm also new to Korean dramas. Do they do multiple seasons? Or are they like telenovelas, like how they end at some point? Because oh my god. So first, as a disclaimer, I'm going to say that I don't speak a lick of Korean. I watched this entire show with subtitles and I was still very impressed. Due to the fact that I don't speak any Korean, I'm not really gonna try to butcher anyone's name. And if you know how to pronounce stuff, leave it in the comments. So we are gonna use our original format of characters we hate, characters we love hate, and characters we love. However, I don't know if all Korean dramas are like this, but for King of the Land, most of these characters are redeemable. So I didn't really hate anyone that mattered by the end. But some of these folks caused some drama. Also, I'm just really learning that drama in English in America is different from drama in Korea. I guess that makes sense. But I dig all the visuals, all the writing, the storytelling. Just like telenovelas, they be knowing. America ain't the only. But let's get into it. Also, spoilers ahead. I will be revealing things. Don't get too upset. First up, character that we hate. This man really don't matter too much because he's an ex-boyfriend. He's terrible, he's selfish, he's awful. Gratefully, it wasn't a whole lot to say about him because Sarang broke up with him pretty early. And she didn't even need a new man because this fool ditched her on her birthday to hang out with his friends. Trash. Next we have, and this is one of Sarang's friends. This is her deadbeat husband. This fool demeans his wife, has his parents demeaning her, and now his own child doesn't even like or respect him. Come to find out, he lost his job months ago. Spent all his severance pay by going out with his friends, all while pretending to go to work and refusing to help out. So his maid outfit at the end was appropriate. Then moving on to characters we love hate. And first up is Juan's sister. And this is a badass boss bitch, bitty ass bitch, okay? All due respect. And she was someone, really, I was rooting for her in the beginning because I was thinking that the way she was handling her brother was kind of like, out of love. Come to find out, she been jealous since he was born. Now, rightfully so with the way that the world and this culture particularly treats girl children. But when her brother was doing good, she tried to sabotage him and then pretend like being family was impossible. Makes me think about money and rich family problems. But later, after she kind of lost everything, you see the redeemable stuff start to come through. And then she ends up going to the wedding at the end. Next, we have Big Boss Daddy, the chairman, okay? So this is Juan's father. And generally, I liked him. He was, whatever. Kind of neutral about this person. At first, he was letting Juan do his thing, and I think you could tell that he actually appreciated the changes that Juan was making in addition to the money that it would bring in. So in the setup of everything, he owns all of the companies, the store, the airline, and the hotel, but his children kind of run it, and he observes. He also seemed to really care about his grandson, at least in a way that he hires someone to look after him that he thinks would be the best fit. But then he tries to be all rich and controlling father, letting his son know who he was gonna marry and telling him to break it off with whoever he was dealing with at the time. So for me, he kind of turned coward, which we'll get into a little bit later. But he too also eventually comes around and does show up at the wedding. Next, we have Nephew, also the son of Juan's sister. So being introduced to this child, we start to realize the cracks in Juan's sister's life. Like, she really got some issues. And this cute little boy is like her night and day Sour Patch. With all the adults, he's polite and he stays out of the way. But then with the staff, he's kind of like a menace and thinks he can treat them how he wants. But it turns out that the poor baby is just lonely because his mom would rather have him live in America than raise him herself. And in my opinion, the main romance of the story really allows the whole family to come together. It's all cute and shit. It's got them like thinking about what's really important. And let's just settle all this and be family. Next we have Miso, which I can say. So we hate this woman because she disappeared from Juan's life when he was real young. And we don't know why. But basically, when Juan's sister was paying the tabloids about exposing his romance, we find out that she was bringing up the fact that Juan was potentially following his father's footsteps because when the chairman was the president of the hotel, he was married to this woman who was poor. Apparently it didn't work out, which led to divorce, which is what the tabloids was talking about. Come to find out, it's because the chairman didn't want to present a lot of her ideas to the people in charge, and he was kind of left with the option of leave her or bust. So Miso sees the tabloids and comes back in order to see Juan and talk to the chairman about how he's raising him. Basically like, let him live his life because you didn't want to live your life with me, and let Juan do what he's doing because he's doing such a really good job. And we could have been doing that if you wasn't all in your head being a coward. Moving on to characters that we love. Next we have Grandma. This woman is funny as hell, but also very like overprotective of Sarong because she raised her without her parents around. She has a cute little restaurant, she works really hard, and she even gives Juan good advice about taking care of his own family. I think that while he was trying to impress her, she really grounded him in a lot of ways that made him look at his own family differently. But he showed her that he would take care of Sarong whether she was alive and well or not. What I love most about this was that even before Sarong got this like rich boyfriend, the grandma had been saving up so much money in order to help Sarong live out her dreams of having her own hotel. Like, it was the sweetest, most like loving shit. Next we have who is Juan's assistant and technically also like his only friend at first. This is a character for sure. Like, he wants to be Juan's like best friend so bad. But he also like really does his job and takes care of him. Now, he worried me in the beginning because I wasn't sure like if his loyalty could be bought between Juan and his sister, but he stayed true. And he was also helping keep the secret of them dating because her friends didn't really know who Juan was. So he was pretending to be Juan by name to her friends, and that had like some funny chuckle moments. Next we have this is Sarong's friend who is running the distribution store of the King group. She is killing the numbers. She's doing great. She's leading her team. She's got her deadbeat husband shit going on at home, but she handled that, okay? And at work, she was kind of being run over by like this lead manager. But she was smart, right? And she played her cards right in all of her situations. She peeped that the manager was exploiting company funds. And by the time she did this, she's friends with Juan, who is the president of the hotel. So it was just over for that other manager. She's also like a really great friend and just like kind of like the leader of their friend group, but mostly I think just because she's a mother. And overall just supportive, and I love seeing really great friendships in the depictions. I be trying to get through all these characters and hope we can do it in 10 minutes, but not to worry. Just a few more left. Stay tuned for part 2. Welcome back to the character reads for The King of the Land, part 2. Furthering the conversation about characters that we love, we have... Now, this is our friend of Sarong who works for the airline as a flight attendant. This is also a great display of an amazing friendship between the three, but then also the two, because she's the one who actually lives with Sarang. But all in all, so cute, lovable. This friend keeps getting passed over for promotion at the airline. She's a great friend. She cares about her customers, the safety, airline, does a really good job. She works really hard, and even with Juan's help later on, without knowing that it's Juan, she makes a lot of money for the airline. Even after that, she gets passed up for the promotion. Turns out that she got passed up and apparently could continue to get passed up because she didn't tell anyone that she was divorced. And y'all know, divorce is such a terrible thing in this culture. But the bigger issue is that she was dating someone who tricked her into signing the marriage paper because she's thinking they're doing it as a joke and didn't know that the person would submit it. Turns out that that same asshole of a man is not only now married, but is also the pilot for the airline. Trash. Oh, because he continues to harass her. Trash. And for more important matters, we have... And this is our airline suitor for... He's so sweet. He's adorable. He love him some P. And he don't even care if she's not interested yet. He's ready to speak up for her, and he's going to be ready when she want to date him. This man said, "Congratulate me," when she finally said yes to dating him and when they was telling their friends. And I know it was probably different in Korea in terms of language, but that shit gagged me. Congratulate me. And next, we have Juan. Now, at first, I was rolling my eyes at this character. I thought this was corny, but probably more so because of the cultural references that I didn't understand right away. But to me, he came off as the rich boy who wasn't willing to work and still wanted to reap the benefits. But quickly, that passed for me. I was impressed because he stepped up and he did all of these customer and staff appreciations for the hotel's 100-year celebration. He was starting to win for me. I'm like, oh, he's serious. Okay, got it. Also for me, and being new to the K-drama and the romance type of thing, it took me a little minute to catch on. But Juan fell for Sarang hard and fast. He was willing to do anything. But he was also the perfect gentleman and always kept his word, but often went above and beyond. That scene where he came through when she didn't have no umbrella, that shit, where the fuck did he come from? Ready and willing and waiting to make sure his woman is good. I feel like any femme person, but also, any person period, but especially the way femmes are treated in this world, any femme person would want this, to be treated this way. Y'all deserve it. Apparently, romance is not dead in this man's book, okay? What's that saying they say? If he wanted to, he would, and did, and does, and continues to do. Most definitely did. And last, but certainly not least, we have Sarang. Hard worker, brilliant, moved up in the ranks of the hotel quickly and well-deserved. Easy, on her own, no handouts. She dealt with a few haters on the way up, but she was able to really hold her own by always being kind to people and treating people well. She earned that spot and she deserved it. Apparently, her education was lacking, but Juan's sister hired her off sheer charisma alone. What I really loved about this storytelling too was that with this character being kind of from poor beginnings, although Juan did literally sweep her off her feet several times, she still got to be her own person with her own agency and still be able to follow her own dreams. She didn't have to become the rich boy's girlfriend and then have no life for herself. He spent money, but she had her own money to spend. And none of her success was because of him. All of her success was from her hard work, and I really appreciated that. This show had me completely in shambles. And now that it's over, I really need to know, are there season 2s of K-dramas? Because I didn't even know that I needed romance like this in my life. But I actually might need romance like this in my life. Please and thank you. Please go watch King of the Land. Oh my God.